What's up, fam? It has been a while since we did a podcast, and it's really been on my heart to do a podcast for the last couple months. I've been trying to get people on. People can't come on for whatever reasons. I'll even get into a little bit of details with that, not trying to throw shade at anyone, but these are just the circumstances that happen. I try to get someone, he's like a manager at Target, I think, works for Target. Wanted to get him on to talk about all the stuff that's going on with Target with Pride Month, all of the trans and all of that stuff being put at the front of stores with their clothing line and the satanic designer. That sort of stuff is what I wanted to talk to him about. Maybe he can give us some insight on if there is any hidden agenda or anything like that. Wanted to get a few guys on here from my men's community, but they were kind of lagging on the text messages, and I will throw shade to their face. I won't mention them on here. But I still want to get them on. Hopefully they can commit to a day and time, and we can have a good conversation about stuff that men go through in general. Maybe we can land on a specific topic. Any suggestions, I'm open to it. If you guys have my number, or feel free to DM me on Instagram. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was actually the topic of what's going on with the Dodgers and the group that is called Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. Actually DM'd one of the advocates, one of the leaders of that group, who will, I think, be representing the group on the LGBTQ night, which I think is on June 16th or 18th, something like that. I DM'd that person. They only had a few thousand followers, so I thought it might be worth a shot, and they might actually respond to me, but didn't get a response. I wanted to have a conversation with them on really just to get an understanding of what their group is about, what their group does, and hear it from the horse's mouth, hopefully offer a better perspective on what I know I don't agree with as far as the stuff that they practice. And we can even get into that in this episode because it's something that I want to talk about, and I don't think that I'm going to have the opportunity to talk with that person. But yeah, as far as what the Dodgers are doing, it really does actually make me sad, because I'm a huge Dodger fan. Dodgers are a big part of my life. They're a big part of my leisure activities as far as following sports. I got the Dodgers, and I got the Lakers, and I got wrestling. And those are like my three main things that I follow as far as leisure time goes. And it's really just a fun escape from the stresses and the reality of the world that we live in, because we know that this world there's a lot of stupid stuff in it. There's a lot of stressful things that go on in it. And, there's a bunch of political talk and hate and whatever it is, whatever all the issues are in the world. And I just look to those things, obviously aside from Jesus. When I want a break, I go to those things, and I'm like, all right, it's just nice to rest and to be in leisure. And unfortunately, with the issue of, I want to be careful with the words that I use, but with what is going on by the Dodgers inviting this group, basically what I have learned and what I have studied and researched about this group is it is a group of men, don't know how they identify. Maybe some identify as gay or transsexual, but it is men who are cross-dressing, dressing in drag, dressing as nuns, and they are really just mocking mainly the Catholic faith, but also the Christian faith, mocking the Catholic faith. I'm sure some of you that listen to this have also seen some of the videos that are being posted by more conservative accounts on Instagram, or even Christian accounts on Instagram, of guys stripping on top of who is portrayed to be Jesus on a cross. So it's just an outright mockery of the Catholic faith, Christian faith with that, where these guys are dressing up as nuns and just mocking the faith. Their catchphrase or mission statement, whatever you want to call it, is "Go forth and sin some more," which, if that doesn't raise red flags to everyone, I don't know what will, especially the Dodgers, who their main demographic, as far as fans go, I would think are Latinos. And a lot of Latinos, as we know, are also Catholic. So it just from a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense why they would invite uh, or re-invite, because that's a whole story too, of re-invite this group to be a part of this night. LGBTQ, all that is a whole different conversation. I'm mainly just talking about uh, this Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence group. Um, it doesn't really make sense. I feel like the Dodgers really kind of just gave into the peer pressure of the media, the peer pressure of this very small portion of the group that was really pressing them, because the Dodgers had originally invited them to be a part of the night, and then they uninvited them, which they probably should have just kept it at that, based off of everything that this group is about. And then because of that pressure, they re-invited them back. And this actually, you know, incited a lot of anger in a lot of the fan base. I mean, you even see it right now to where uh, whatever the Dodgers are posting, anything at all, it doesn't have anything to do with the night. It could just be, player highlights or statistics or games coming up, where there are people in the comment section. They're outraged. They're saying, it's a shame that I'm not going to be able to watch the Dodgers anymore because of what they've done to us. So a lot of people in the Dodger community, a lot of Dodger fans, they feel hurt. They feel like they feel like they don't care. Like they don't feel cared from the organization. And honestly, I don't know if I feel that way. I feel like embarrassment as someone who has supported the Dodger organization for a long time. I'm still a Dodger fan, but it's hard for me to support the organization. I guess the people who ever made that decision, I definitely don't support the decision that they made. But yeah, Dodger fans who are also Christian, Catholic, that sort of stuff, they feel hurt right now and they feel ashamed to be called Dodger fans. I've seen videos of people burning their Dodger stuff. I have a friend who actually just sent me a video today. He threw his Dodger hat in the trash can. And I get it. I respect the decision. I'm not going to go as far as to do that, as to boycott, although I understand the decision. And I've definitely thought about, like, should I turn away from the Dodgers or should I, just speak out about it? I don't know. I'm speaking out about it right now. And hopefully, you guys can speak out about it too, whether it's if you know someone in the Dodgers organization or you can, speak out on your social media accounts, whatever it is. But for me, I decided I'm still going to be a Dodger fan. But as far as even going to Dodger games and spending my money there, I'm definitely at least thinking about it twice. That's for sure, because of the questionable decision making as far as inviting this group. I feel like it was a mistake and not a good business move at all. But I get it. I get the boycotts. For me, it's just tough to pick and choose which things I'm going to boycott, which things I'm not going to boycott, because we could boycott pretty much everything. I'm sure. I mean, I'm filming this on a Canon camera. I'm recording the audio on a Rode. I'm sure there are decisions that they have made, the companies Canon and Rode, questionably made some questionable decisions that I don't agree with, either religiously or politically, whatever it is. But I'm not going to not buy Canon and Rode stuff. I have better things to worry about, I feel like. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Just let me know. I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to have a conversation with you about it. But I don't know. It's really tough being a Dodgers fan right now. Even wearing Dodgers stuff, I have a hard time, because it's almost like when you put on a hat, when you put on a jersey, it feels like I'm almost making a political statement on where I stand, and I feel like I might even be judged by certain Christians for that. And I get it, and I'd love to have a conversation with those people. But when it comes to boycotting, like, where do we pick and choose what we want to do? Because if you boycott one thing, why don't you just boycott everything and only, buy and support from Christian-based organizations, which I don't think for me it's not really realistic to only do that. And I would love to actually have a conversation with someone here. Like I said, been trying to get people on to hopefully spur on a better conversation. I'm not the best when it comes to it just being me talking and communicating. But it is my podcast, so I figure, hey, let's put out an episode. It's been a few months. But yeah, let's have a conversation with someone about this topic and see what their viewpoint is. Maybe the person that did actually throw their Dodger hat away, that is my friend, and really get a full view on where they're coming from, because that person actually does go hard when it comes to supporting Christian-based organizations and going against organizations that are directly against Christianity and the beliefs of the Bible. Whether it be they're coming from whatever weird political position where it's, like a Disney even, or Target, or now the Dodgers, whatever it is. I'd be interested to hear that full side, because I'm definitely not on that full side where, if I got to go to the grocery store and Target's the closest grocery store, I'm just going to go to Target. That's it. Obviously, the stuff that the organization believes in and supports, I don't support, I don't condone as a Christian. But if I need some milk, I'm just going to buy some milk. It's not like, to me, it's not that big of a deal. As far as buying stuff from the store, obviously what they are trying to push is a big deal, and I don't think it's right. But my convictions are different from your convictions, and I don't know. Maybe you can possibly change my viewpoint when it comes to that. So that's about all I got to say about that as far as those things. But I mean, this is probably going to be a short podcast episode. I honestly just felt like putting the camera on record and putting the audio on and trying to talk about something, about the stuff that's going on in my life, the stuff that is consuming my thoughts a little bit, and what I think about it. So hopefully you guys are able to agree with it, disagree with it. I just trying to get some kind of conversation going. Maybe this will turn into another conversation with someone else on the podcast. I really do feel like that's where I thrive, is when I have at least one or two other people that I can dialogue with when it comes to facilitating a conversation. I do know I need to be more active in those conversations. That's what a lot of people say when they listen to my podcast. They say, hey, it was a great podcast, but I wish you would have actually talked a little more. And that's just not really me, but I do know that's an area I should and could grow in, is communicating and talking more and telling people what I think about certain things. Because I do have an opinion. I even my friend, another friend's voice in my head, saying, "Well, that's Nick. He doesn't have an opinion about anything." And I remember them saying that, and I'm like, "Well, no, I have an opinion about stuff, but not everyone asks my opinion." So feel free to ask me about anything that you want. I try to be as open as possible. I'm not going to always communicate everything that's on my mind, but yeah, I want to be the same as I am on a stage, as I am in front of a camera online, and as I am in a one-on-one conversation with one person. So just being consistent is really key with my communication. But yeah, feel free to ask me my opinion on anything. I think that's going to be it. I don't want to go on rambling, so I will just end it right there. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you agreed with, disagreed with, and hopefully you can get some more episodes going on in the future. And I got this new sound on my keypad.
Yeah!
That is LA Knight. For those of you who don't know, don't watch wrestling, you wouldn't know. But LA Knight, one of the best in the game right now. So, peace. I'll talk to you soon.